If you have between 500 and 1100 subscribers and you're looking at your view counts thinking, why isn't this matching up? Let's just be honest, you're probably being too hard on yourself because the reality is most creators think they're failing when they're actually right where they need to be. So we did something a little bit crazy. We analyzed 2.23 million channels. Yes, million. Specifically looking at creators in the 500 to 1100 subscriber range. And the data we found? It's a bit of a scoop, frankly. It completely changes the narrative on what success looks like at this very early stage. In this video, we're going to do three things. First, we're going to share the actual benchmarks, the hard numbers, so you know where you stand. Second, we're going to debunk this legacy idea that subscribers equal views, because that's just not how the game is played anymore. And third, we're going to look at the recommendation system and how it actually works, the mechanics of it, so you can stop chasing a ghost and start building a business. Let's start off with the numbers. And I want to be very precise here because we stripped out the outliers to get a real picture. When we look at this massive data set, the average views per video sit around 790. But you know, averages can be misleading, right? A few viral hits can skew the whole thing. So if we look at the median, which is really the middle of the pack, the most accurate representation of typical, that number is actually 693. But here's the fascinating part. If you're getting around 356 views, you are actually performing better than the bottom 25% of the channels. And if you're getting 169, you're in the bottom 10%. On the flip side, to be in the top 25%, you need to be hitting around 1,167 views. And the top 10%? Well, that's 1,593 views per video. So to summarize, and you can quote me on this, for channels between 500 and 1,100 subscribers, the typical view per video is about 350 to 700. That's the reality. And a lot of you are hitting that. If you're sitting there with 800 subscribers and you're getting about 400 views and you feel like a disaster, it's like, come on. You actually are statistically normal. You're right in the pocket. You're cooking. Now, the reality is a lot of creators look at that data and say, but Travis, I have 1,000 subscribers. Shouldn't I get 1,000 views? And my answer is no. That's not really how this works. You know, there's a saying, subscribers are a guarantee of distribution, but frankly, that's antiquated. Subscribers are a signal of interest, not a contract to watch. Think about your own behavior. You subscribed to a channel in 2020 because you're into, say, sourdough bread baking. I mean, it's the pandemic, we all did it. But now it's 2026. Are you still watching every kneading tutorial? Probably not. Your interests have evolved. The truth is, notifications only reach a tiny slice of your audience. Most of your views, and I mean the vast majority, are going to come from the homepage and suggested videos, not the subscription feed. So when you see that gap between views and subs, don't panic. It's not a bug. It's just a feature of the platform that prioritizes what people watch right now, not what they click subscribe to 5 years ago. And so this brings us to the algorithm. And look, people like to mystify this, call it a black box, but the engineering is actually quite logical. According to YouTube's own documentation, the system works in two main stages. First, there's candidate generation. This is where the system looks at billions of videos available and filters them down to just a few hundred that a specific viewer might actually watch. It's looking at watch history, context, what similar viewers liked. And then there's ranking. And this is where the rubber meets the road. The system scores these candidates based on predicted satisfaction. And what signals that predicted satisfaction? Click-through rate. Did they choose it? Average view duration. Did they actually stay? User feedback. Did they hit not interested? It's like, imagine a quarterback reading the defense. The system is constantly reading the viewer's signals. If people click and then leave after 10 seconds, the system goes, okay, that's a false positive, and stops recommending it. So it's not about your subscriber count, it's about the performance of that specific video in that specific moment. That's the currency of the platform. So what do you do with this information? If you're in that 500 to 1100 sub range and your new upload hits between 350 and 700 views, take a breath. You're doing fine. You're in the game. If you're constantly below 350, you have a diagnostic tool. You know it's not the algorithm hating you, it's likely a packaging issue. Your title and thumbnail are not winning a click, or a retention issue. Your content isn't holding attention. We have a lot of tools here at vidIQ that can help you with that. There's a link in the description for a free trial. Check it out. We'll help you with all of this stuff. And if you're hitting above 1,167 views, that's fantastic. You're in the top quartile. I don't even know what a quartile is. You're punching above your weight class. The goal isn't to obsess over subscriber ratio. The goal is to optimize for those satisfaction signals. Better packaging, better storytelling, better value. That's how you move up from the median to the top 10%. To kind of land the plane here, benchmarks are a compass, right? They're on a ceiling. I want you to look at your last 5 videos. Are you in that 350 to 700 range? Are you an outlier? Let me know in the comments below. Put your sub count and your average views. I'd love to see where the community's at. And if you're really interested, why don't you check out one of the podcasts? We have great interviews here. I'll see you in the next one.